So today we have a maintenance day. We do one once a month, normally at the start of the month, but I'm away next week skiing. So this month we're doing it at the end of the month. What we do on these days is, this isn't about tidying. We normally do our 3S, so sort, sweep and standardize, which we've done another video on, which you can go and see during the week. And the guys will have a bit of time at the start and the end of every day to do that. Today is about the maintenance of the machines. So it's nothing more annoying than having a breakdown right in the middle of your production schedule. So we schedule in these maintenance days once a month to make sure all of our machines are clean, greased, all the motors are tight, all the motors are working correctly, the belts are tight, the guide blocks are as they should be. And we have this all recorded on Airtable. Just a simple system on Airtable. The guys fill in a form to say that they've done it. And then we have a timer that is a time difference basically between the last date it was done and today's date to say it's either due or it's done or it's overdue, just so we can quickly skim down and go, oh wait, we haven't done that machine for a while. We better go and do that. So that's what today is about. So we're going to go around and have a chat with everybody and see what they're working on. And once they've done their maintenance, they're then on improvements. So some of them we have ripped through maintenance already and they're on to improvement tasks they've had on their list for a while. So we'll catch up with each person and see what they're working on. This area here is our knot filling station. So this is the outfeed of the P1000, so the big planer. So the boards go in on the other side after they've come out the kiln as an off-saw board. They come out here lovely and planed on all four sides to the profile that the customer's asked. The material, we've got 4 trolleys, metal trolleys that we're building that are going to go into this area, because as you can see, we've got this timber right at the back here, and then a pack in the way, and then there's another pack over there. And you can guarantee that the pack we want is the one right at the back. So we should have everything in here on wheels so that we can just move that pack to one side, nip in, grab it, and put it back in again. It's nice and quick and easy. So that's one improvement that we're working on this month. The next one has been the knot filling bay. It's a service that we offer that adds 2 things. It makes the quality of the boards better. So for flooring and lining boards, you end up with a board with a uniform surface, so there's no dust and rubbish and crap that can get caught in the knots or the cracks. But it also helps us recover more timber. So Scottish timber by nature is a bit more knotty, a little bit more characterful than the stuff that you can probably import from God knows where. But it's that character that we want. It's that character, that kind of natural look is what we're really about here. However, sometimes the knots become a little bit loose, or you get a small crack that opens up in the live knots. And by filling it with a special resin, I don't actually know what it's made for. It's completely non-toxic. We get it from a company called Wood Repair who specialize in this stuff. And you fill the cracks and then you sand it over and you end up with a perfectly uniform board that doesn't end up with rubbish getting stuck in it. You can paint over the top of it, and it just allows us to recover more timber instead of chucking out that whole board just because one little crack has appeared in a live knot. So we've improved this area because it's quite a manual task. You have to pick each board up, put it down, and before we were doing it on the packs, so the guys were bending. Remember, with the lean, the easiest way to think about lean is removing burden. So now they can take the timber, put it onto a nice bench. All the tools are exactly where they need them. We're going to put in another battery charger and some extra batteries on this side because they go through batteries quite quickly, these machines. All of the extra tools, like the metal bits for cooling down the glue and the knife for cutting it up, sandpaper over here, are all in one place and all within reach. We've also, or I haven't, Mike has put in these awesome lights, because when you're over here on a dark day and the doors are shut, it's quite hard to see exactly what you're doing. So just simple fix, a couple of lights over the top, makes it much, much better, improves the quality, improves the works, and removes the burden. We drag this thing this way a little bit. Fucking hell, maybe not. Yeah, fucking hell. Don't film that. Don't film that, Joe. These are new storage racks. So they're going to go up against the wall here, bolted into the ground, stood up with arms that are going to come out here. Long term, and this is something that I've only just been thinking about last week, is we're going to have another set of racks. The side loader, I think, is 2.5 meters-ish wide, so we'll make the aisle 3 meters. So this bay will sit up here, arms coming out. Then we'll have a road here, an aisle, about 3 meters wide, and then another set of cantilever metal racks that will go up. arms on this side, and then arms on the log side, on this side, and then we'll cover over the whole thing. So this in-between section with the aisles, so we'll have a row that side and a row that side, all the way along this shed can be filled up with timber with the side loader. And the stuff on this side will have a little roof on it, but not sealed. So this side can be loaded with the forklift, because the forklift obviously won't be able to get into the aisle. Which will about, I think I calculated it will give us way over 40 packs of covered storage space for timber. So huge benefit for us, that, because the stuff out in the yard's fantastic, but as soon as it gets a bit wet, it goes grey, the value decreases quite quickly on it. So we're going to try and have a little bit more covered internal space. The trolley's probably had, I don't know, 5 or 6 different variations on it. And one of the best things I've learned from Lean is, it's such a simple saying, but this is the worst it'll ever be. And it just, that simple saying just takes all the pressure, all the stress out of making an improvement. And I find if you have people in the business that aren't super on board with getting stuck in with Lean and making improvements, if you just say to them, look, it doesn't have to be the perfect finished article the first go. This is the worst it'll ever be, and then we can improve it. So just try, and we can keep on improving it and making it better. So this has had about, I don't know, like I said, 5 or 6 different iterations, and we're pretty settled on this now. There's a few things that we need to tweak, but it's working really nicely. So this is all individual sections. So they are on wheels and they're not fixed together. They've just got a little metal clip. So when they put them all back together again, when the material comes off of the outfeed of the VR, they take the stickers, put them in there. These are the long stickers, by the way, just so we're talking about the same thing. Push it up against the headboard, leave it in there. All of these trolleys are squished together. We then take the big chainsaw, chop down between these gaps all the way along, and then unbolt these trolleys. And then each one of these trolleys has perfect stickers on wheels that you can move around. There we go, here's one. Move around and put wherever you want with exactly the right length stickers. So we're not having to double handle stuff. So the old way we used to do it, and again, this is going back to, I think that was the worst it'll ever be, and it was bad, was as it came off the machine, we would just bundle all of these stickers up and then take them over to the chop saw and chop them up on the chop saw. It just took forever. So we've kind of constantly improved this. So we've got 2 of these trolleys. One of them is out and about being used, and there's another pile of them over there. One of them out being used, the other one being filled. Once you've emptied one, you cut the other to length, swap them over, put the empty one back in, restock it. So works an absolute treat, that. Just right, this is stuff that I've been backwards and forwards trying to find a solution for I don't know, probably over a year or so. And I went to the Ligna big bloody timber trade show thing, and I met this company here, Tech Pack, they're called. And they do this wrapping that's a woven wrap, similar to, I think James Jones and BSW use, I don't know if they use this company, but very similar stuff. So it's much tougher than the plastic wrap that we currently use. So it doesn't rip, so you can staple it, and you really won't be able to rip it as easily. The key is for us on this is it's much more breathable than our current stuff, and having a black background helps the condensation to stop building up on the inside of the polythene. So if we wrap a parcel of planed material and it sits out in the yard on a hot summer's day, there's a chance with the current wrap that we've got that you get condensation on the inside of it, which will damage the boards. This stuff, far more durable, far more breathable, and that black liner stops the condensation on the inside. So really keen to get this working. It was a hell of a price, but it comes branded, and we've got 2 different widths. So we've got one width that's just a single sheet that will cover our, I think it's 1.3 wide, because our packs are 1.2, so this is 1.3. So it will just be like a single lid that goes up and over. And then there's another set, which I think is this one, which is the 2.6 wide stuff. So you unravel it in 2 halves, and then you can wrap the whole pack to seal it entirely. So super excited, this stuff. We'll still probably use a mix of the other stuff and this, but if it's going to be sitting out in the yard, or it's going a long distance, or it's a high value product, this is the stuff we'll be using from now on. So yeah, buzzing about this. To replace the belt. So this is like a main conveyor belt at the bottom of the VR. So in here, this is big spinning blades in here. All the sawdust and the waste falls down onto a conveyor belt. The conveyor belt travels out here onto this conveyor, comes up this one and into the waste chute. So no one touches the waste. It's all nice and clean and tidy. But that belt over years just got really damaged and all cracked and split. So we just decided to replace it. It was a bit of an arse to do. The belt wasn't crazy expensive, but took a bit of time. But the beauty of that is we did it on a maintenance day. We planned it in. We didn't have that disruption of it stopping and breaking right in the middle of a production schedule. So from that, we took that belt and reused it for these covers here. So you can see that one there. And that just stops all the dust and the rubbish flying out this way. We made another one for the bottom as well. And there's a new area, a new kind of frame that I think Harris and Mike are working on at the moment to put another sheet, another kind of container that I think will come down here and just trap all of the excess dust and sawdust in. We book in these maintenance days. We never used to do this a couple of years ago, and it's a new thing for us, and it's made a big, big difference, giving the staff that time to care about the machines, look after them, plan it into your production so you don't get those surprises halfway through the week when you're rushing to try and get an order done and a belt breaks and you don't have a spare on the wall. So have that planned time, and with the improvements the guys are making, that sentiment of this is the worst it'll ever be is such a powerful thing. We use the other one as well, fix what bugs you. So as you're walking around and you find things that's annoying, but this is the worst it'll ever be, and remove the burden. There's the three kind of key kind of messages that we keep hammering home to the guys. Fix what bugs you, this is the worst it'll ever be, and how do we remove the burden?